What's up guys, Elfis here, and welcome to another episode of Versus, where I take two heroes, pit them against each other in solo 1v1 mid, and I'm going to tell you which one wins, why they should win, and what the loser should be doing, as well as what the winner should be doing, okay? Here we go, let's jump into it. Okay, so we're pitting Tremble versus Chipper mid, alright? This is an interesting matchup in the sense that it's not really super clear which one the winner will be. And I mean that in the sense that they both have very interesting skills that allow them to win mid. Chipper being his very cheap damage ability, obviously the rockets, whereas Tremble has his mounds, which give him the ability to essentially do whatever he wants in mid. They give him an immense amount of regen, the invisibility on top of that, and they're fairly hard to kill. If anybody's gone against Chipper, they regen quite a bit, against Tremble, they regen quite a bit if you stop attacking them for even a few moments. So, which one will mid? Well, our best guess would say that Tremble will most likely win, assuming he plays it correctly. And the reason for that is because if he places mounds correctly and positions himself correctly, even if he's eating a few rockets here and there, Chipper doesn't have much after the rockets. So he eats 3 rockets to the face as he goes in to attack him, fine. Then he hits his Q, hits him a couple times with his E, and best guess would say that he'll probably win that fight. Now, it's not a guarantee. Chipper does, in fact, have quite a bit of damage with those rockets, and his mobility is fairly decent on top of that. So, plus he has his shield, assuming he put a point in it early on, which would negate some of this damage because it is magic damage. So, in a normal game, it would say it's up to player skill. However, at the moment, I'm going to say that Chipper would probably lose just based off of the fact that Tremble has great regeneration, he has great, attack, he has great lifesteal with that E, even though it's not technically lifesteal. He's got mobility, he's got, the mounds, all this kind of stuff that I think would allow him to win. Now, Chipper, you're going to lose, okay? So why are you going to lose? I already mentioned that. What should you be doing, seeing as how you're going to lose? Well, you're going to lose. So what you should be doing is, A, trying to get rune wards whenever possible. If you have a bottle and you get rune wards and can use these rockets, you win the lane. That's the key, is that even though they're cheap, they're not incredibly cheap in the sense that, you can use them whenever you want, okay? They do cost a little bit. So if you can get the runes and refill your bottle, which I presume you will have, then you can win this lane. The other thing you should be doing is ganking. Chipper is a phenomenal ganker. Phenomenal. One of the best in the game, actually, especially once he hits 6, but even before then, because of the fact that he has, so much damage on top of the crowd control, on top of, the fact that he does have a fair amount of mobility, and all of his stuff is fairly cheap, relatively speaking, of course. So, you should be ganking an immense amount. Chipper cannot really farm the jungle. That's not really an option for Chipper. So if Chipper if he can't win mid, he can't win mid. He can't really farm anywhere else. Certain heroes can, but not Chipper. The other thing you can do, as opposed to ganking or getting the runes, is you can be harassing him when possible, and then trying to beat him to a rune. So I know that kind of sounded a bit redundant, but if Tremble is too low, he can't fight you for the runes, and this applies to melee heroes a lot because they can take harassment, fairly easily. So other than that, the other thing you could be doing is getting a rev ward to essentially negate the invisibility of his mounds, and that is a very effective way of beating a Tremble mid. It can obviously be killed if the person gets their own rev ward, but it is a worthwhile investment going against Tremble mid as a hero that will lose. Other than that, the only other real thing you could be doing is getting itty bits of farm here and there. You could be using your rockets for farm as opposed to harassment. A lot of the time you'll see Chippers do that because it's just a better thing to do sometimes, because some of the harassment damage, it doesn't matter. You're not always going to be trying to harass them. You're trying to get farm in certain cases too. So, once again, I thank you guys for watching. This is a new series, so if you have any comments, criticism, things you would like me to talk about on top of the stuff that I talked about already, feel free to let me know below. If you want to, suggest the next matchup, you're welcome to do that too. Other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. GG, well played, guys. Elfis out.